What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This will be weekend 3 coming up here of Minnesota Early Goose.
Oh yeah.
Opener was nuts.
Yes, it was.
The weather was crazy good for migrators. We got into them, and with getting into them on public land, you also get into some competition out there, which we'll dive into. What are your first thoughts on that hunt?
I thought overall, for it being an early season hunt, it went as good as it could have been.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, a little rusty out of the gate. If you've seen the video, we shot 7 birds that day, and we should have had a 2-man limit. But
with the 3 birds we missed, that should have been a 2-man.
Yeah.
2-man all day. I think I changed my choke once. And then I had the shot cam, and I could go back in my videos and realize I was either shooting over them or wasn't leading them.
Yeah, a
enough.
little behind them.
But man, what a way to knock off the rust. Because I think you and I were beating ourselves up pretty good.
Oh yeah. Well, and then for anyone that hasn't seen the video yet, you should go watch it. But it was early goose opener and early teal season. We set out to hunt geese. We didn't. If we were to land teal in the spread or have a passing shot, icing on the cake, sure, if we could hit them, they're fast as you know what.
Fast as can be.
But overall, just primarily goose hunting, and I would say overall for the first round out, the total success for hunt.
I mean, that's more geese I've shot on early goose than I have the past 3-4 years.
Yep.
I mean, I was walking and paddling out to that spot at least maybe expecting 1 or 2 geese.
Yep.
And we had that the week of opener, we had that, oh my goodness, let me talk. We had that cold front.
Yep.
And a good north wind. It was moving molts, and we had fresh birds in the area. And we just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. We definitely had some other people out there. One other group wasn't goose hunting. I think they were just duck hunting. I think it was one guy.
Yep.
There was another group out there. If you guys are watching this, read your regulations, because you guys shot 30 minutes prior to legal shooting light for teal. Check your regulations. But they were also calling the geese that were working our spread, which that's public land. You're going to get that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of fun, us calling at these birds and them calling at them, but they wanted nothing to do with them, and they wanted everything to do with us. But all we were set out to do was just goose hunt. We didn't have any duck floaters or teal floaters or any spinners or anything like that.
Not a duck decoy to be had.
No, and I mean, these geese, we maybe had a group or 2 that flew by and they didn't care, but otherwise the rest of them, they knew where they wanted to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the best part about the hunt overall, I mean, everyone loves to see the big flocks dump into your spreads, and personally, I like to see that over the fields.
Right.
I don't love to see that over water.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool either way, but the birds were working us like 1s and 2s at a time, which made for perfect shooting opportunities for us. You know, you take right, I take left, and
it was perfect.
Each just have a bird to shoot at. And I'd say, overall, as successful as we could have been.
You couldn't have asked for anything. It was pairs, and we had what? Well, we didn't even have any triples or anything. It was just straight pairs.
Pairs or singles.
And it worked out perfect where the first pair came in, and I looked at you, so all right, I'll take right, you take left. Yep. That's just how we were sitting in the blind, and that's what worked, and we continued to do that throughout that day.
Yep.
And you couldn't have asked for a better hunt.
No.
Now, on the other hand, I've been out a handful of times since then.
You've been out two more times?
And after that hunt, I set my expectations way too high, when I know I shouldn't have for early goose in Minnesota. It was hot. The geese, this time of year, the geese are just dumb. I mean, they're dumb, and You get new young birds where when I'm scouting, I see a field of 20 birds, I'm going to move on to the next because to me, that's not a glorified feed. They're just kind of checking it out. And in the morning, they're going to move on. We did have one hunt last Wednesday. We found a wheat field that was cut, and it was just outside of city limits. And I hounded the guy. I don't normally hound people for permission. It was killing me watching these birds sit in this field. And finally, he said, you know what? You get one night. And they were in there that morning, and that evening we only had 6 come in, and we only shot 3, and we didn't see the rest of them. And then the kicker was the next morning, they were right back in there again.
Kind of more of a morning spot than an afternoon spot.
Well, and a lot of us, we can only hunt the evening.
Yeah, especially during the week. But I mean, at least you got some action out of the deal.
Oh, I won't complain.
Yeah,
I won't complain.
Wasn't a total bust.
No, last Saturday we went out. Just 3 of us maybe set 3 dozen decoys out, and it was more or less going to be a traffic. There was maybe a dozen birds in the field the day prior. We had a handful of birds fly over it, but they didn't care, and that goes back to the whole early season. They're dumb. They don't know where they want to be. And we could see them about half a mile out, all get up all at once off their roost, and they all just beelined it to one spot. We packed up at like 10:30. We went out and scouted, and they were doing a lunch feed. They weren't even in there in the mornings. They left at like 2:30, and they didn't come back the evening. And then the next day, they were in there at noon again. So this time of year is so hard.
Well, and it's tough too with the cold front that pushed, and then for it to warm back up into the 80s, and we've seen 90s this week. It's tough. And then around us, I mean, they're finally cutting silage now, but there are a handful of wheat fields cut. Definitely some grass fields to go after, but
all the wheat fields are overgrown by now.
And then getting the permission is the tough part.
And I was gonna
piggyback
off your silage. Is all these fields that are getting cut for silage, they're great, but we aren't the only ones looking at them.
No.
And I can't tell you how many times, sweet, cut silage field, there's a handful of geese in it. I go to knock on the door, there's already 2 pickups there with guys sitting at the door. And just carry on, go to the next one. It's tough. I could tell kind of back to our last podcast, this area is slowly starting to get more concentrated with hunters as far as fields and stuff like that. And this year I'm really seeing it. I've knocked on farmers' doors, and they already gave so-and-so permission. Already gave so-and-so permission. It just keeps going down the line, and I find myself pushing more and more south outside of my comfort bubble, per se, right? And we've even talked about going outside our comfort bubbles and do that scout, drive 45 minutes one way.
Try to find something new. Keeps it fresh. We need fresh. This weekend will be interesting. We got another, not necessarily a big cold snap coming in, but we got a little bit of a temperature drop, and it's going to be cloudy again. What are you thinking we're going to do? I think this hunt, well, we're going back to the same spot as
of right now.
As day one, as of right now. That could change. It's Wednesday, So I think it's going to be a real hit or miss. Either we'll see them or we won't. And I also think that the action's going to happen right away, if it is going to, and then it's just going to fall off.
It's going to be done. That spot, I'm not dropping names, but I'm sure a lot of you can figure it out by our previous videos of where it's at. It's very open. And for some reason, the birds don't loaf in it. Occasionally, we'll see them roost in there. Not very often.
Hardly,
But man, do they want it every time we throw out goose floaters. I mean, it's like a stringer. Half the time we're buried in our phones, or if you guys watched the previous video, I'm outside the blind videotaping, and I'm just, and the moment you heard that specific tone, you're like, it's game over. They want in. Hello. No thanks. See ya. We got the shop door open. We're TikTok live. Guys, ask some questions. We'll answer them here. Just kind of get some flow going in some of these videos. Off topic. You've been quite busy. We've only gone on that one hunt together.
Yep.
I have had the privilege to go on a hunt with not really a privilege, but a gentleman knocked on my door last year to ask me permission to hunt one of my fields that I already have permission on, and the farmer wants to deal with all the permission via me, so he doesn't have to deal with it because I got primary permission on it.
Yep.
Austin is his name. I do plan on having him on this podcast soon. I would really like for you to meet him. Eventually you will.
Yep.
He knocked on my door, asked for some permission to hunt one of my fields that I already had permission on. I said, go for it. The only thing I ask is that you text or call me first prior to you being out there.
Yep.
And ever since that day, we've hunted together ever since.
Yep.
That's the relationship I want to have with other hunters. I don't want them to knock on my door, no, screw you. Because I've gotten that. I've called plenty of hunters, and they're like, no, screw you, get out of here. Like,
right.
I got permission.
Yep.
Well, come to find out, he lives right down the road from me, and this specific area we are in, we have permission for it all.
Pretty much.
Even south,
Yep.
where you are, we are locked down for this year. And what I found out with Austin is I thought I called for permission early, like beginning of August.
Yep.
He's calling these farmers June and July.
Yep.
Because he sees what crops on the ground, he knows the area.
Yep.
And he's boots on the ground getting permission for it way ahead of anybody else.
Planning for the season. Yeah.
Planning for the season.
Yep.
That's I feel like that's going to be big for us and him. I found some spots that he didn't have, and he's like, there's no way you got it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've had it for the past 3 years.
Right.
And now we can come together as a group and hunt these birds together.
Yep.
And he's willing to go 30 minutes one way, and I'm willing to go 30 minutes the other way.
Right.
And we can cover a lot of ground, especially in this early season. You need to do that.
Right.
I didn't hear, you told me, the micro rounds.
Yeah, I got Migra ammunition
Are
to
you-
give it a whirl.
Are you pretty excited about that?
Yeah, I am, because I've never shot a stacked load before. So for my preference, all the ammo I've shot in the last 5 years is federal. I don't usually shoot anything else.
And, I'm a hardcore federal guy.
Yep. And it's just because it's what I like. Now, the kicker of it is I like Black Cloud.
Oh yeah.
And everyone says, why do you run that through your gun? It's the dirtiest load you can fire. And I've had nothing but good luck with it. So I use Black Cloud, and I use the Fast Steel, the blue box.
Yep,
The typical blue box
Yep.
everyone grabs off the
grabs
shelf
off the shelf.
because it works. So I use 2 different loads through the season. I use double B if I'm strictly hunting geese, or I will use 2-shot if I'm duck hunting, and then have the chance at geese too. Because we don't typically set up where let's just say we're strictly shooting ducks. If geese land, we're letting them go, that type of stuff. Like, no, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm filling the freezer.
Yeah. Normally it's we're goose hunting.
Yep.
But if ducks come in, they're a bonus.
Yep.
Now I've set up in a field for ducks, and geese are my bonus.
Right.
But that's where that.
Yep.
I know we were texting about it. I have my gripes about it.
Yep.
I think it's a dirty round, and everyone's different. It's a dirty round. I've heard too many stories of them absolutely scoring the crap out of people's barrels, and who knows? Maybe a Stoger hates it, but a Benelli loves it. Who knows?
Right. Well, and I'd love to do some research on it more, because of the fact that, like, well, scores barrels and this and that. Well, what's the wad made out of then?
Right.
Because in theory, the shot should never hit your barrel. It's all what's coming. The wad's sending everything down the barrel of it. So is it a wad problem, or what's actually going on with this round? But I don't know. I'm excited about it. I told myself now I have like half a case of double B left, and I told myself when I'm out of double B, I'm just gonna go straight to 2s.
Sure.
I'm just gonna shoot 2s all season, mainly because what I like about it is it doesn't absolutely obliterate ducks. Now, It will
It
if
will.
they're really close.
It will.
But it has all the knockdown power to kill geese too. So when I saw the migra loads, I'm like, okay, it's stacked. Well, it's 2 and 4 shot. So I'm like, well, it's gonna have the knockdown power for geese, but it's hopefully not gonna absolutely obliterate ducks if they get, let's call it, too close.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be a little cognizant about what's too close and not to take the shot, but
And there, as you know, I run 2-shot all year round.
yep.
That's just occasionally I'll pull out the 4-shot if like I'm in a tight hole.
Yep.
Like the field I went for wood duck hunting where you're supposed to come with.
We don't want to talk about
Well,
that.
I brought it up in the last podcast, so I feel like we need to bring that up at some point. We can keep pushing it off, but it's going to keep coming back. But like that was 4-shot, but I shoot 2-shot all year round. But then once duck closes and we really start to get into them heavy migrators, the big,
Yep.
for say giant Canada geese, I'll switch to double B 3.5,
Yep.
and those pack a punch.
Yep.
But I am very curious to see because how does it? It's 4 and then 2, or is it 4? Or is it 2 then 4?
So 4 is what comes out of the barrel first, then 2 behind it.
Okay, so that would be nice. I'm just curious to see.
Well, and
I want to know how hard is that thing going to hit a goose?
right, and that's that's what I'm curious about it too. I mean, I bought 2 boxes. I don't necessarily believe in 3.5s.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, nah, if I'm goose hunting, all I'm shooting is 3.5s. I need all the power in the world. It's like, I've killed geese with like 2 3/4 rounds. It's like, in the grand scheme of things, your 3.5-inch shell just carries more payload.
Yeah.
So is the 3.5 for the guys that aren't accurate?
All right, what's going on?
I mean, I consider myself a fairly good shot. I mean, everyone misses. I'm not gonna say like
Yeah.
I don't miss nothing. No, I definitely have my share of misses. I mean, we shot at, let's call it 10 birds for opener, and we both had a box of shells laying in the sled when we were done with it. It's like, well,
It was bad.
yeah. So like, how good of a shot am I really?
Yeah.
But when I bought these 2 boxes, the first box is 3-inch. And I bought it because stacked load, and then it's 1,550 feet per second.
Okay.
Well, comparing that to like my Black Cloud and the fast steel, it's a little faster, not by much, but it is. And I don't know enough about shot shell or, even rifle rounds per se, like how much of a difference is 100 feet per second.
Right.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that could be huge, but
And I can't comment on that because I have no idea.
and that's all just research to be done at home. But so I bought the 3-inch shells for that reason. Well, then I bought a box, and those are 2-4, and then I bought the same shell, 2-4 stack in a 3.5. Now that shell slows down to 1,400, so we're getting really slow.
Yeah.
But it went from what's the 3-inch? It's called like 1.25 ounce shot payload to 1 5/8 ounces. So I mean, the
And you're
payload
throwing a
is
hammer at
the payload is huge.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know what's it gonna do in the field.
Yeah.
And
And you might change my mind. Like I said,
Right.
There's plenty of, like Midwest flyways.
Yep.
That's all they run.
right.
And I am excited to see it change my mind.
Right.
If it does.
And for me, I know a lot of guys, maybe not so much like early season, and I'm going more off of like my pheasant hunting experience than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've duck hunted for 10 years, but I've never messed with chokes or anything per se. I've always been a modified guy.
Yeah.
So, like in the pheasant hunting world, everyone says, well, come your opener, and then like through October into early to mid-November, I'm running a modified, and then they run, let's call it like a 5 or 6 shot for pheasant.
Yeah.
Well, in the pheasant world, I run 5 shot and I run a modified all year long. Whereas most, like a lot of guys that are really, really into it, they'll go like a modified and like 6-shot or 7-shot, bunch of BBs coming at birds. Well, then come later season when birds start to get smart and they get a lot more jumpy in the fields, well, then they're switching to full chokes, and then let's drop the shot size now down to like a 4 or a 5.
Sure.
Let's get some more range out of it. Well, in the duck hunting world, I've tried full chokes. And can I hit birds with them? Yes. But I would say my accuracy, let's call it from my average shooting, let's call it 80%, drops to, let's say, 50, 60% with a full choke in my gun.
Yeah.
I don't know how to shoot with it.
Right.
And that could change down the road, but, with practice, obviously. But the modified works for me. And, I mean, I've taken 50, 60-yard shots with the modified and knock birds down. So it's like, well...
And I'm a huge fan of, like, if I'm hunting geese, I very rarely take out my full unless we're hunting water.
Yep.
Otherwise, that's all I'm running is a full.
Right. And I know everyone has their preferences, and then I know there's hundreds of different chokes a guy can buy for their gun, including ones that, well, who is it? Is it Carlson?
Carlson, that's all I run.
Well, they make... It is Carlson, isn't it? They make chokes that are specific for each round.
Yes.
So, like, part of me wonders...
If you look at my Carlson full,
yep.
Maybe I'll drop a picture in it. It'll literally say BB/2-shot on it.
Right, but I've seen chokes from them, like, not just ones you would go buy off the store shelf, like, on their website. So it'd be like, okay, for me, I have a Weatherby Sorex, and you have a Stoger 3500. So, like, let's just say, okay, I'll go on Carlson's website. I have a Weatherby Sorex. I shoot Federal Fast Steel. They make a choke tube that is specific for fast steel.
Oh, not the shot size.
Not the shot size, but for the round.
Huh.
And I have one for my 870 that I bought that is for, it's a long range choke. So call it a full, their version long range. It's for Black Cloud.
Okay. I had no idea.
And I know a lot of it isn't so much like, it doesn't care that you're shooting some other brand or some other round through it, but, and I would love to know how they create that to go for, like, this is the specific
it's
round.
For Black Cloud only.
Right.
Like,
but
how do they determine that?
Right. And I know a lot of it is because that shot through that choke tube pattern the best.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders, like, okay, well, say I fall in love with this Migra ammunition, or I don't, and I just stick with Fast Steel or Black Cloud. If I buy their specific choke, will it be better or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, like, a side-by-side comparison, like, with the Fast Steel, like, run my factory modified choke for my gun and then buy the specific choke. Is it really better?
Is
it accurate farther away?
Yeah.
Or is it more shot on target?
I'd be curious to run that specific choke with that ammo next to, like, just a standard choke that Stoger or Benelli provides you with when you buy the gun.
Yeah, your
How
factory
big of a
chokes.
difference is it, or is it just a marketing scheme?
Right.
My thing vibrated at me again.
You don't want to dead?
No, I don't know what's going on with it.
But I am curious about the stacked load, and I know they make different versions of it. I think you can buy stacked loads in, like, tungsten and stuff. This is just the plain steel stuff, but that's another crazy thing on the market nowadays is tungsten. Well, not so much anymore. Now most of it's gone to copper plated because tungsten's impossible to buy now, but it's pretty wild what that shot will do. I mean, you definitely pay for it. You go from $30-$35 a box to $60.
Yeah.
And I want to know what they put in the turkey loads, because, like, a box of 5 for tungsten is like $80.
I know I know the turkey loads I bought were It was 10 shells in a box, and it was like $40.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
Or yeah, maybe it's 10 shells and it's $80,
Yeah,
but it's
oh my goodness.
insane. But I am a firm believer in those heavy loads,
Right.
like in tungsten. So my buddy John, who you know obviously, we went to Canada last year, and we were snow goose hunting primarily, but I watched him, and as long as I've known John, and he's the one that got me into waterfowl hunting, that guy can shoot birds to like 100 yards. I've seen it numerous times, and it's like ridiculous. It's, birds, you're like, well, let's let them get in closer, and then they might flare a little bit. Well, he's shooting at them,
Right.
and he's killing them.
Right.
And then when we went to Canada, and this is what made me a firm believer in the tungsten rounds, he uses a 28 gauge. He bought one like 2 years ago, and I don't think he's picked up any other shotgun since.
Yeah.
And I know he's big into the 12 gauge world and stuff, and I do love these like smaller gauge shotguns. I would definitely own like a 20, just because it's light, it's easy to carry. I would really like it for pheasant hunting more than anything, long walking. But
Yeah.
when we were in Canada with that 28 gauge with tungsten in it, he was, probably a full choke in it, but he was killing birds with a 28 at like 60, 70 yards, like consistently.
Yeah.
It's like, I know he's a good shot, but I'm like, that's a teeny little round. It's the size of a chapstick tube. It's dumb.
He takes the B-dub blast to another level.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? You see his most recent teal hunt? He mentions the B-dub blast. John,
Yeah.
I will some of the videos you have seen me, he takes that to a whole new level. Mm-hmm. But we could keep going down the whole path of ammunition all day. I want to know, in our last topic, in our last podcast, was Pinterest recipe, TikTok recipe ideas.
Yep.
I know what I already made, and I know what you made, but I'll explain what I made. I'll drop a picture down here in the corner. I made barbecue pulled goose.
Yep.
And my God, I never knew a goose could taste so damn good.
Right.
My wife and kid ate it.
Yep.
And they devoured it.
Yeah.
In the crock pot for 7 hours on low, beef broth, and then I sauteed them first before doing that, and then I shredded them and then put them in a crock pot with spicy barbecue sauce for another hour, and just serve it on a bun with sweet potato fries. And wow, was that good! Mm-hmm. And I tricked coworkers at work. Said, "Here, try a bite of this," and they're like, "Looks pretty dark. What kind of meat is that?" I'm like, "Just try it. I wouldn't make you try something that's disgusting."
Right. Really
And
off the wall.
and they were like, "Oh, it's venison. Oh, it's so and so. Oh." One of my coworkers goes, "Is it a coyote?" I'm like, "No." And I told them, like, it's goose, and they're like a farm goose. I'm like, "No, like Canadian geese," and they're like, "It can't be." And yup, it is. It's amazing what you can do with a crock pot.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. And I'd love to try that because I love like pulled pork sandwiches or shredded beef, any of that. Well, I've only ever eaten goose like 4 different ways. I've had it straight up, grill the breast, tons of seasoning. And I know like the biggest thing with any sort of wild game you cook, it's got to be rare. You can't, if you overcook it, it's junk.
Sure.
It's going to be just absolutely terrible. Well, cooking it like a steak is one thing, and I know a lot of people like it that way. You got to really like game to like it that way.
Super gamey, and I'm not a fan. I
And-
tried it once on the Traeger, and it was terrible.
Yeah, and like I'll eat it. It's definitely not my favorite way to eat it, but I'll eat it. I couldn't give it to my wife.
Right.
She would take one bite and
Yeah.
spit it out. And other than that, I've always ever had it or made it into snack sticks, which comes with a bunch of seasoning and pork added to it, and that's probably my favorite way. So as far as simplicity goes, snack sticks or jerky. That's always good too. But these new recipes are definitely worth the try.
I want to try what you made.
So I made my goose, and I made two birds straight into a crock. Well, salty water,
Yeah, the
for
whole
a few
shebang.
different, get all the blood and feathers out of them and get them clean, ready to cook. Then I went straight into the crock pot with a whole box of beef broth. I put in a pot roast seasoning mix, like a McCormick's that you'd buy, and
Yep.
just dump in there. I put that in there, and then I cut up a whole white onion and put it in there, and then mushrooms, because I like mushrooms,
Yeah.
but take it or leave it. That it don't add or take away from the
Yeah,
flavor
yeah.
whatsoever. On low for 8 hours, and then at the 6 hour mark, I threw in a bag of like baby reds or the little yellow ones
Yeah.
for potatoes, and those went for 2 hours. Then at the 8 hour mark, pulled it out, shredded it, and I didn't put it back. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's done. I mean,
Right.
it was falling apart, taking it out of the
Yeah.
crock pot. And basically from that point, I took like bakery rolls, put the shredded goose on it, and I put onion and pepper on mine, and then provolone cheese over the top, and then I made the sandwich, and then I put them in the oven on broil for a few
So it's like a
minutes. and
cheesesteak sandwich.
so I
but-
made a Philly cheesesteak
Yeah.
out of the goose, and then I made an au jus just out of a packet. I didn't
Yeah.
use the broth and stuff like people typically do, and maybe I should have, but either way, I just made an au jus. And yeah, my wife doesn't like onions or peppers, so made a French dip for her, and
Yeah.
I had a Philly, and yeah, it was fantastic. Just eating the meat, it was just like a roast. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't tell the difference. And then the next day, I mean, we pretty much devoured those sandwiches plus some extra just meat and potatoes on the side. And then the next day with the leftovers, we ate it again. Just basically just made a roast beef sandwich, warm it up, put it on a regular bun with some ketchup, and
Yeah. Mine
ate
didn't
that.
even last 24 hours.
Yeah, and I mean, I made
I made
two birds,
I made
which
two
is
birds,
quite
too.
a bit of meat. Well, then I brought it over to Alex's. I'm like, hey, I got dinner for you, because I'm like, I don't know how long this is gonna last,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get rid of what's left. I'm like, I got dinner for you, so I brought it over there, and he heated it up and took a bite out of it. He's like, yeah, there's no way you would know this is
Yeah.
goose.
Yeah.
And he gave it to his girlfriend, and I know she'll eat like venison and some certain wild games, but she ate it. She's like, yeah, it's a roast. This is beef. I'm like, this ain't beef. She's like, this is super good. He's like, yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. So now I'm curious to try other avenues of it. I mean, how do you mask the taste of it if you're not slow cooking it?
slow cooking. And I think after after what I made, and it was so good, I think that's the only way I'm going to do it from here on out is crock
Yep.
pot. My next recipe, I'm going to make a buffalo chicken dip, but it's going to be with goose.
Yep. And I
Already
think
got-
that would be super good
And
too.
it's already got everything lined up for it. I just want to shoot a couple more geese to throw, because right now I only got 4.5 breasts with the ones I got left over from last year, but I at least want like 6, 7, if not 8.
Yep.
Because I'm going to make a big batch.
Yeah.
These little batches, they're fun and stuff, but they don't last. And then I want to bring some to my work as well and see how everyone else likes it.
Yeah, like 3.5 birds worth of meat in a crock pot, and that'd be a pretty hearty dip. That's gonna be a big dip.
And I'm okay with it because I wanted more of what the barbecue pulled goose. I wanted more of it, but it just wasn't enough. Like the next day I had some for lunch, but then I wish I still had some for lunch the next day.
Yep.
And I was like, God, I really wish I still had some. And my wife even mentioned, she goes, even if there's still some left over, bring tortillas to work.
Yep.
And make a taco out of them. Like, that is such a good idea.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you went through that kind of work and did it through the crock pot as far as the cooking method went. And then, yeah, I mean, the options are endless.
Well, and
Tacos
it's a lot
or
of
whatever.
work just for like, well, I think I did three breasts for the old barbecue, and that's a lot of work just for three.
Yep.
3 breasts for a little couple servings. So if I'm going to do it, I want to save them up and just make something, a big dish
Yep.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, some different ones I would love to try would be like a stir fry.
Oh,
Where you'd marinate it in like teriyaki or wash your sister sauce.
Yeah.
Because no one knows how to say that.
Worcestershire
sauce.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, say it however you want. I know what you're talking
Say
about.
that fast 3 times.
I'd love to also like fry it on the Blackstone and do like maybe like a orange chicken sauce on it, and then like fried rice.
Yeah.
Do it more like a Chinese dish.
I really want to, I mentioned it before, I really want to try and make a jambalaya out of it. I don't know how I'm going to do it,
Yep.
but I want to do it. It's a lot of work, though. I've done some research, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
Well, and then like come later in the season when it starts to get colder, even over the winter. I mean, a chicken wild rice soup, but with goose or any sort of soups per se could be super good.
Julia makes a pheasant wild
Tater
rice
tot
soup.
hot dish
Tater tot hot dish. My wife's listening.
with goose
With goose.
or duck. Nah,
Goose.
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 Duck's good just to cook and eat.
Duck I can fry in a frying pan the same day I shot them and eat them.
Yep.
But for some, I can't do that. I can't do it with goose.
Yep.
Duck, like fresh, not even an hour after I shoot them on the frying pan. That'll be my midday lunch, like snack between breakfast and lunch.
Yep.
Every single time. Just put some little bit of, soak them in soy, let's do the salt trick, water, salt for an hour.
Yep.
Soak them in soy sauce for maybe 15 minutes.
Yep.
Both sides on the grill or in the frying pan, and down the hatch it goes.
Yep.
I don't know why I can do it with duck. Wood duck I cannot. Absolutely not. I cannot eat wood duck. It's disgusting. I still shoot them, and I will eat them, and I still eat them.
Yep.
Because I don't want it to go to waste. But I just, it's got to be like wood duck, mallard. Wood duck, mallard. Otherwise, it's just disgusting.
Throw a teal in that mix.
Teal are underrated. I've only shot one teal in my entire life. I've only had 2 breasts, but it was really good.
2 teal.
2 teal.
You have 1 mounted.
Yeah, but I didn't eat that one.
That's what I'm saying. But
Okay, I've shot 2.
teal.
In my defense, I've shot 1 blue-wing teal and 1 green-wing teal. So, in my defense, it still stands.
The bird that should have never
Oh my
showed up.
God, that'll be in. There's tons of stuff we want to talk about. We could sit here all day.
Let's go this route. Hey, so we're hunting on Saturday. Next podcast, the following week, we'll talk about the hunt, and then the podcast will be hunting stories.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be all waterfowl. Could be coyote. Could be turkey. I got some good pheasant hunting stories. Deer hunting.
There's still one I'm going to bring up.
We can bring that up. We will discuss the forbidden hunt, okay? We will bring it up.
Oh, I've just been dying to bring it up. We could, like I said, you guys, we could be here all day. That's a very, I like that idea. Let's do that. Next podcast, let's fall back a little bit on some hunting stories, and I'm hoping to get Austin here next week because he's just chomping at the bit. He literally texted me as I was setting this stuff up, and you pulled in. Hey, when are you doing a podcast? I said, funny enough, I'm setting it up right now. And he goes, damn, who's filling in? I said, Logan. He goes, damn. I said, you can come hang out. He goes, I'm going to go scout. I'm like, alrighty then.
Yeah, we'll get him on. And please, in the comments, give us ideas of things you want to hear about.
Yeah.
I mean, we got stories. There's a bunch of stuff we can talk about. Like, we can act smart and think we know what we're talking about. Or if you give us the comments sooner than later, we can actually maybe do some research and give you our insights on whatever these topics are.
If we said something wrong that just poked you wrong or whatever, drop it in the comments. I'd love to talk about it in the next podcast. Or if something we mentioned
educate us, please.
Educate us.
We're not perfect. We're only human. We only know what we know. If it's been filled with wrongful information, please correct us.
We have nothing against that. So,
but yeah, then also on top of stories next week, we'll start trying to get some different guests on here and get their stories and their 2 cents about hunting and come up with some more fun topics to talk about. But
no one's asked any questions.
No, this thing is so frozen it ain't even funny.
TikTok Live sucks.
If you want us to TikTok Live more,
we're gonna need.
You're definitely gonna need to.
We're in the shop still, you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna need some better connection, and we're gonna definitely need some topics, or
less flies.
Or we're gonna be doing something really random.
And less flies. Still trying to get carpet downstairs. What a nightmare. Anyways, you guys. All right. We hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a like. Drop topics, questions in the comments. And remember, do not forget to subscribe. We will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.